Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cities by Steven. You're talking to Steven. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, please hit that subscribe button, get that bell notification on too, so you don't miss out on a video. Welcome back to the channel where last time we were here, we expanded the city's grid out into the start of a fishing town. We also cleaned up our temporary industry area, and we moved our garbage and our water processing and our power out of the kind of starting city area. In today's episode, we are going to be pushing for the next milestone, and while doing that, we are going to be also building a cool marketplace and, just generally growing the city. I think we're going to get a high school in too if it works. Let's hop out and into the city. So this is the town of Oracle Bay, situated not too far away from Port Roberts over here. And it's a industrial little hub here. I've added a bit more industry than there was when we left off last episode. I really like it. I've also switched some of the fishing piers to anchovy fishing piers because we got that upgrade. And I just wanted to do this before the episode. And yeah, it looks nice. We have 3 now. And it's keeping a steady supply for our fish factory over here and our fish market over here. So this is where we're going to be building up the market area today if we get the chance. But just in general, I would really like it if we could expand the city to connect the grid lines up together. Generally push for the next milestone. And whatever we run into in the process, we will tackle, like road hierarchy, for instance, and upgrading some roads now that we kind of see how the traffic is flowing. I also added an industry zone in here. This one is not going to be temporary. This is going to stick. I might kind of move things around a little bit for like a unique factory down the line or something like that. But I like this area for industry right off the highway, kind of elevated by some nature. It reminds me a lot of some industry areas that I've seen in my Google Mapsing of this area. Let's start off the video by kind of just filling in some of this empty space here because we still have a lot of industry demand. And if we look at the zoning right through here, this is all I've done. There's a pocket of general industry in this zone, but the rest of it, and over here, but the rest of it, so this and this is the forestry industry. So I don't really mind having the forestry industry a bit more commonly placed, like right in here, for example, would be a nice warehouse. But I do know we should probably get some commercial activity going. There's some really good pockets for commercial through here. If we turn zoning off of that street, this would really open up some nice zones for commercial. All right, so I don't want to eat up too much of the commercial demand, but that area was definitely screaming to me to be commercial zone. Now, when I'm thinking of the residential in this city, in this part of this town, this fishing town, I kind of see like some medium density. So like some low high rises. So we need the high density zoning for that. And we don't have that unlocked. So when we're going to be pushing for the population today, we're going to not really be in this zone. Oh, I also brought buses into here. I just extended the one bus line that went kind of down the street just into here, just temporarily until we, can sort out our proper transit hubs and network. So I think if we're going to expand residential, the residential expansion is going to have to come in this zone here as we push the grid upwards. I'm thinking of trying to keep this forest pocket, but the rest of the forest in this kind of area, so right in here, we're going to eliminate. All right, so this really opened up a lot of avenues for us, quite literally, to get some residential in. All right, so where were we? We were going to build out the grid from here. And I'm kind of looking at this, and I would suspect that any kind of build up in this area, there would need to be a pretty major thoroughway connecting to Highway 15 here. So we need to kind of pinpoint a location where we can do that. And I think this road here would probably play really well for that. Seeing as if we were to extend this one, in theory, out this way, whether it's on some strong right angles or if it dips and dives, um, it would probably be best to connect these two areas up like that via this road. It's close to the highway. This one, or yeah, the highway interchange. Oh my goodness. And this one as well. So I think that would be a prudent task to take on right away. And unfortunately, this little teeny blob of trees is probably going to need to get removed for this project. So I think this will be a good kind of starting point for this build. And in doing so, we will kind of create a fun, unique little change of pace from the monotony of the grid. So first of all, let's bring this one out about 8 units. Why not? That's kind of been the standard for what we've been using so far. Then I'll use freeform, and I'll just try and follow the tree line here that was originally kind of laid out by the map builder. And we can probably bring this one out just a little bit more this way. Then we can swing it like so. Then we can find a good spot over on this side to connect up. Now, this will get removed, and then this kind of area in here is going to get changed up. Not sure what kind of interchange this is going to be yet, but we are going to continue it off into off into the distance here. So I don't want to say this is the exact location, but roughly this would probably be a good little spot for it. So we'll curve this one out, and then we have a couple options to do. We can just kind of connect it ourselves, or we can use a fun little mod here with the network multi-tool, one of the best mods in the game for sure, and use the create connection mode, and we can create a connection between these 2 points. And yeah, we can just do something. You know what? Not exactly perfect, so I don't really like the straight line aspect of that. So let's just connect it up with the freeform tool. Very good. So here is the road. Topography is really nice and smooth. I like this. Perhaps this is a really old road that leads into here, which would then mean that this road would need to become quite the strong road as well. And we should probably continue this one all the way through. And this one will probably, bridge or something and continue on into that direction. But we should probably upgrade this road then, right? So let's use this road here just for now. That's all we really need. And we can upgrade that. And look at that. We have a really strong intersection here. This could become a roundabout down the line if we need it to be. And we have some dedicated turning lanes as we split off into this direction. So yeah, there's a bit of a node issue here. So if we open node controller, we can do this, and we want this part of the node to line up with this one. There we go. A lot nicer. We can square the node and slope it. Makes it look a bit smoother. And that's a really smooth transition. Okay, so back to our task. We could create like a really cool nature reserve or a city park in this area. This would be a really good spot for like a factory or something like that. Not saying it's going to be, but I'm not going to build anything over in this area until we build this intersection, because I don't know how much space the intersection is going to take up. But we can now continue our streets all the way through here, and our grid can connect up to this funky curvy road. All right, so we have those roads continued, which is fantastic. And speaking of the roads of Port Roberts, as we know, but if you're new to the series, the roads going in this direction are named, the roads going in this direction are numbered. So I was reminded in the comments of last video that I needed to make sure that we had the names of these streets, the named streets, continue onto this side, even if they were broken up. So let me just do that really quickly. All right, so there we have it. continued the road names over here, and there's a few new ones. So Brown Street, the infamous street that was both this street and this street for a little while, is now named Doc Brown Street after Shukaboa's suggestion in the comments. Check out Shukaboa's channel, Skylines 6 member, and Doc Brown after the movie Back to the Future. Who doesn't love that movie? That movie is definitely one of my top movies of all time, and the trilogy as a whole, really. That was my sick movie growing up. So anytime I was sick, I would watch the trilogy throughout the day. But then there was also T Drive, which is in reference to Point Roberts, which is just south of Vancouver. It's a American territory or American land that's kind of cut off. Interesting. And I believe that the person who suggested this mentioned that they also came up with the name Port Roberts for the series, and hence the tie-in, Point Roberts, Port Roberts. And then there's also Park Peabody Street as well, which was another suggestion. So I wanted to make sure that I got those ones in today's episode. All right, so we got this going well. Next, we want to get another connection onto this avenue here. And it's going to be a bit tricky because we need to time it right. Should it be this road or should it be the next street that connects in? It's a bit of a tongue twister for me. So it's going to be one of these two. And I'm leaning towards this one connecting up, but I don't want it to be too close to that one. If we could connect it here, is it too close to this one, right? So it's we're kind of in a tough spot here. But I think maybe it should be this one. So we connect that up right there, delete that, and we can connect these two streets up at the 8 unit marker right here. And then, interestingly enough, this street will become 15th Street, which has yet to be named in our series so far. So this street, T Drive continues slightly. There we go. But this street is 15th Street, even though Highway 15 is right there, because that avenue was supposed to take up the 15th marker. But now we have this one perfectly lined up. So 15th Street. And we are going to be continuing with some roads here because this one would be 16th Street. My goodness, yeah, this is gonna get confusing. If I miss a road or something, please let me know in the comments because I don't want to forget about this. But this is quite the expansion, but this is like perfectly flat land, so I really don't mind doing this. This is how it would be done in real life, right? Definitely grids are a surveyor's best friend, and there's a reason why cities were mapped out this way. It's efficient, kind of looks good too. Oh no, this street is off. That's okay. I think we can fix it pretty simply. All right, fantastic. So this is going to be kind of the mainstay of our residential expansion. So I'm just going to zone in a bunch of residential right now. And I know that I want residential in this zone from here. So I'm just going to fill up this block or these blocks in this zone. And it looks like we should probably bring this one down into a cul-de-sac here. Yeah, that's probably the right move. And if we turn zoning off of this street and whatnot, we should get some nice roads through here. All right, so we're going to let that zone in while we finish up the rest of the grid. And the reason why I wanted to get this to zone in is because I want to now bring another road through here and kind of create a bit of a space in this zone by this market. And I was thinking it could be this street coming in, but that might be a little tight for what I'm looking for in here. So if we bring this one across, this one connects up pretty well with this street. So yeah, we might as well do this. What is the topography like? Yeah, it's not too shabby. That works out great, and we can smooth this out a little bit. And I forgot water, of course. So let's just make sure we have water in all of this expansion. Did I forget water down here? Thank goodness I did not, because that would have been absolutely embarrassing. All right, so we have the grid kind of going now, which is really good to see. And it looks like this really expanded pretty quick. And let's see, how far are we away? Not that far, just 1,000 more people. But in order to get that residential demand, we need to either raise the value of the land that we're going to be building on, or we need to add some industry and commercial. So I'm looking at this lot of land in here. It's a little bit awkward. We have our fish market in here. It's a bit kind of lopsided with the terrain, this hill here. So the hill makes things a little tricky, doesn't it? On kind of building anything too kind of grand or large. But I was thinking we could get a market in here. Seeing as we already have a fish market, we could really tie in the asset together. But the one thing that's kind of throwing me off is the hill. I don't know how we're going to play with this feature here. At the moment, at least. One thing I know for sure is that we're probably going to get commercial through here. So let's just throw that down. Just some short commercials. So I don't want to go all the way with the 4 deep buildings, but 3 is probably fine. So we'll let those buildings come up. That'll eat up some of the commercial demand. I don't think I want zoning on this road, though. So I don't mind turning that off. It allows us to get a little closer, but I don't think we really need to get too close to the intersection. Yeah, okay, we'll let that come in. And then we definitely don't want zoning on this road because it's so steep. Probably not that section either. Maybe. But let's slope this really quickly. Okay, so I'm thinking what we do is we have this market in here. We're going to have a bit of light industry in this zone as well behind it. And like for shipping goods in and out. A bit of like a loading dock area. But then what if we just kind of re-wild this area? Now, I know we kind of took out the trees and stuff from here, but that's, you know, more for the building process. But I think we could get this area to look pretty nice, especially if we kind of smooth out this terrain through here. And oh, you know what we should really do is use the leveling tool, level this out, so then we can kind of get like alley behind here or something like that. That'd be really cool. Yeah, and then we can get some paths and whatnot. We might kind of split these buildings up a little bit and you get a path in between. Make this a bit of a park. We could tie it in with the park area that we're going to make for this kind of zone as well. But kind of the main feature of this market is that I want it to be a pedestrian zone. So let's take off zoning through here. And it doesn't need to be in there either. This can probably just be part of Oracle Bay. Doesn't really matter, does it? And then we need a pedestrian zone in here. So paint the pedestrian zone. We'll kind of take up most of where the flat land is. Port Roberts Market. That's all it really needs to be. And let's get some pedestrian roads in. So, well, I guess that's not really the first step of the pedestrian promenades and plaza DLC, is it? It's that we need a service point area, which needs to connect to these normal roads. So I was thinking we could get a normal road kind of down this area, maybe a bit further along Richardson Street here. And maybe let's choose that with the topography on. That would be really helpful. And maybe we go from... Ooh, we should probably figure out the grid size first, right? So let's bring this one out to here. We'll just extend the grid out into this area just briefly so we can find a good little spot. Bring a road down, and that's right here. This is a great spot for it. Could kind of go over the hill a little bit here. Okay, very good. Delete that. So now that's perfectly in line with what we're using. And then this road, I want to be the same height as that. And it'd be nice if we could get a clear view of what we're doing. There we go. And then if we just bump the terrain out a little bit, so it looks a little bit like it's planned, at least. Yeah, there we go. And then why don't we get the pedestrian zone through here? Or, yeah, the service point. So, goods coming into the market can come in through this zone. And then we can kind of connect it up with this. I kind of like how the container ports and stuff align. But I was thinking we could also have like a service kind of road that doesn't have to go right through this area. If we just kind of bring this one to about this node right to about there, and then we transition it to say an industry road, that could be cool. Yeah, okay, very good. I like how this looks now. That looks really fun. Maybe this whole road needs to be an industry road. Yeah, I think that would probably be best. All right, so now we need to get our pedestrian roads in here. So let's go to pedestrian roads. And I really like the roads with the trees in the middle. So let's use the cobblestone ones. I think that's probably a safe bet. All right, so here we go. We got a bit of a market area in here. And yeah, I think this is going to turn out really nicely because we need to create a new district as well. We need to have some specialized zoning in here. So let's make this area all one district. And we could continue it out into kind of part of our expansion in here. But Port Roberts definitely needs to be extended at least out into this area, just for the district style. All right, so Port Roberts Market. Any specific styles we need in here? Nope, because we are throwing in one of these, and that is the organic local produce. We're putting that in. And any industry area, I don't know, but we'll put forestry in there just in case we want a warehouse kind of look. And any residential in here, in case we want to get a condo down the road, let's put in the self-sufficient. I like to use the self-sufficient areas as a bit of a condo because, they look like modern condos, or at least the most like modern condos in this game. So, holy cow, we have so much industry demand. This is great, I guess. Let's add a bit more industry over in here. All right, so that should take care of some of the demand for it. Not enough, though. So that may be hinting towards a future episode coming up soon. So what do we need in here? Well, look at what the assets are asking from us. Looks like we have a bit of a fish market in here, and that is really great. So I wonder if there's anything that we can kind of place similarly in this little pocket here. So if we go into find it, and we go to our organic and local produce section, which is right here. Look at this. There are some fantastic commercial assets that we can fit right in here. This one would line up really nicely, seeing as it's kind of pointing towards the concrete area right there, right? So we can do that. Let's play with the game pause so we can kind of be really picky with how we're placing things. Look at this one. This one is kind of facing the street, but that's okay because people will definitely be shopping along the street as well. And I think those are all the market-specific ones. And then there's these coffee shops as well, which play really nicely. This one's a bit smaller, right? Yeah, that one could fit there. But yeah, let's kind of build up this area a little bit with some fun, unique little buildings. All right, so look at that. This looks really cool. I really like this little market area. They're spaced out well, and I really like this asset right in here. Kind of looks like it's turned inwards, so we can get like a path in the middle here and kind of create some fun little areas. And then we got a coffee shop right beside, kind of where the entrance is to the market here. With oh, it looks like we got a gas station in here. No, 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 I don't want a gas station here. That's okay. We can pass on that. What was right here though? There was something that was supposed to be right here. It was like a yeah, it was this. No, I think this one's going to be the best bet for it then. In order to okay, well, looks like it doesn't want to pop up here. I wonder if it's because of the district, so we can fix that. All right, so this is a really good little market area. I bet this part would be seasonal, so let's kind of make like a non-seasonal market in here, if that makes sense. So I just want to kind of block zone this with commercial, and then particularly in this area here. Now, I would imagine that this corner would be perfect for a condo, so maybe what we can do is kind of section it off like that. So we have a 3x3 condo in here down the line. And maybe we can be a bit particular with what we want in this little pocket. Okay, so I really like how this is coming along so far. I like the kind of warehouses in here. Maybe it's kind of a bit of like a gentrified area or something like that. And I just think that this looks rather nice. First introduction of one of Larry Skylines' parks as well. You find Larry Skylines' stuff on the workshop. I thought this was a nice little slot for it. And then the parking lot, yeah, I thought parking lot would work good here. But as the idea is that you drive in on this side and then pull in here to park. This is from the new content creator packs. Okay, so we're running out of space here for our market. So I'm thinking this is the center point of the market itself. So let's get a nice plaza or something like that, right? That could work nicely. We also have these corner plazas as well. This is the first time that I'm dabbling into Larry Skylines' workshop items. But maybe let's go with like one of the newer plazas and promenades one. Because there's like a food truck plaza. That could be really that could work really well here. All right, so this is coming along really nicely. I really like this building centered here. I think that brings a lot of unique character to it. And I like the industry area through here. I'm not the biggest fan of this tree here, though, so I wonder if we can destroy this one. I wonder why that original building disappeared, though. That was really good. I like that warehouse kind of style here. But if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and that's okay. There's this one. Yeah. Okay, well, right in this pocket here, I think we could get like a big old tree or something like that. That could be nice. Something that's been there for 80 years or something. Let's see if we can get a bigger one. Yeah, there we go. All right, and then we can mix it in with a few of these smaller trees. Okay, fantastic. And then sometimes the best way to blend in the awkward concrete is just a concrete path. And you just go right over top of it. Creates a bit of a smoother transition down over here. Okay, very nice. So we got one more spot in here. I definitely think condos is going to play a big factor in this area. But we do have a bunch of industry demand still. And yeah, so I think we need to make sure that we accomplish that, or, eat into that at least a little bit today. But let's check out the topography. Yeah, so we have one good kind of area in here that we could just extend out into. Let's pull up that again, please. And we need our guidelines on so we can direct ourselves a little bit better. 16 units. Here we go. And should we continue this one a little bit more? 8 units, perhaps. Down. Okay. So I was thinking we could get... Whoa. That was weird. I was thinking we could get our first taxi depot out this way. We don't have a taxi depot, and I thought this was a fairly decent location for it, seeing as this is kind of like becoming a bit of a light industry area. So let's find a good slot for it. I don't really mind it right here, actually. All right, so we got some more area zoning up in here. We got a bit more industry kind of happening over on this side. Now let's tackle kind of, let's tackle a bit of a different project here. So for one, our garbage is filling up a lot. So, a good little stopgap, which I know a lot of people don't approve of, but that's okay. It's just resetting your landfills. But we have these geothermal plants, and I really like them. They play really well with some industry builds. So I was wondering if we could try and get them to fit into a bit of an industrial area, and then we can add more industry. And I was thinking this slot in here could play nicely, but it's a bit too close to a future park. So I wonder if this slot in here would work. So I don't want it off the main road. I think it would be really neat if we could kind of get it on like a protected gate kind of area. So if we go with the toll booth here, plop that in. This kind of makes it seem like it's a factory or something like that, and I think that's the right vibe for this. Okay, very good. So let's move some of these power, the 2 geothermal plants over here. And let's maybe plop them. Yeah, I don't mind it like that. And then if we grab the other one and we plop it, let's put these ones together. And we could add on to it in the future into different directions. But let's grab it with Move It, and let's see if we can combine the asset a little bit. Make it seem like it's at least one building or something like that. So if we push it together, make sure it's on the same height. Yeah, so if we're looking at it now, it kind of looks like one building, particularly in this zone. Yeah, I don't mind that at all. Okay, so I saw our power fluctuate, so we're right on the verge. So we can add in another one, or we can boost the budget. And I think we're at the boost budget point. So we'll do that, and then we should be pumping out a lot more electricity than we normally would. Okay, fantastic. But let's get a few more municipal buildings in here, like the road maintenance depot. The road maintenance depot is very well situated for like the administrative center for the municipal plant. So let's grab an industry road. Not gonna do too much with this area today, but we kind of bring it to about here. Then we go off on a nice angle. we can get like a really cool view with the municipal area. Yeah, very cool. So now this kind of viewing deck is right off of here. We can create like a bit of a patio out this way for the guests or the people staying in here. But now we have a nice view of the lake, hopefully, as long as the heights of these buildings don't stay too, or as long as the heights of the buildings don't go too high. But now we have created a bit of an industry pocket that we can get a bit of industry out this way. We can try and, squeeze in a few things right in here, add in a bit in this zone. All right, so now we found a bit of a home for our power as well. And I thought this was a nice little spot for it. This is turning into quite the industry mecca, isn't it? I'm a little worried that this is kind of becoming temporary industry zone 2.0. But yeah, no, won't be that for sure. But yeah, I really like this market area, folks. I thought this is really nice. Yes, I'm saving these spots for condos, but right in here, I think we could get a bit more commercial. So let's add in maybe 3 like that, and then we'll find some fun buildings to throw in here. All right, fantastic. And we are getting pretty close to that next milestone, so I'm going to continue our zoning project a little bit, and I'm going to zone up these 2 blocks in here. Now, I do want to start getting funky with the grid, and one cool thing we can do with that, so long as we have it unlocked, is, yeah, we do have high schools unlocked. Okay, so I'm going to fully break a grid like this, and this whole area is going to become a high school area. And since we're talking about breaking the grid, is why don't we kind of continue this street into here, and then let's continue this one in to mirror it, but then let's kind of go right back against that thought and break the grid entirely here. I know people just moved in there, but oh well, don't know what to say. Forgot to do it first, that's all. Oh, look at this. There's a little slot right here. We could get a house. Nice. Okay, this is coming along pretty nicely. I like this massive grid break right in the middle. And high school time. So this is our first high school, and I'm pretty excited for it because this is my favorite high school building that we have, particularly just because it's large. It makes sense to me. And what street is this on? This is on 10th Street. 10th Street High, perfect. We'll get some parking lots in here. This is tough because I really want to start using these parking lots. We don't have them unlocked yet from the workshop. 10,000. My goodness, how am I supposed to detail my my areas? That's okay. We'll get to it eventually. But didn't we have some new parking lots unlocked though? Yeah, parking. Okay, so these are all the parkings that we have, and then there's this large decorative parking lot. We could plop this one down as the high school parking. I don't think it would fit this way. It's not. And I don't think we need a parking garage for it. And nor would one of our older parking garages work. So this will have to do. All right, so now we can dabble in some sports fields. Oh, hey, birthday plaza. That's awesome. Sports fields. My favorite content creator pack so far, that's for sure. I've been talking about sports fields for the longest time about how I would just love to have sports fields. Oh, no way. It's already pre-designed to have 4 diamonds. That's fantastic. Utterly fantastic. Okay, so let's find a nice field that we could kind of say has multi-use, right? Community soccer park. Oh my goodness, that is fantastic. But I don't think this is the right fit for this area. Okay, so I wanted to get one of the new sports assets in here, but I really wanted a baseball diamond on this stadium or in this school. So why not both? So fun fact for you, if you didn't know, so this is a Canadian themed city set in British Columbia, Canada. Now, um, Canada has their own football. Yes, so there's football as in aka soccer, European football. And there's American football. There's Canadian football, and there's Australian football. Sorry, that's Australian rugby. My goodness, mixing that one up too. But Canadian football, what's the difference? Well, the goal posts are in the front, just like this. So that's awesome. This is Canadian football then. But there's two 50 line markers, so the field's a little bit longer. It's also a little bit wider. I love it that the field goals are at the front here. This is fantastic. So it's just a short, skinny Canadian football field. So sorry to all you Americans, but the goalposts say that it is. So that's actually amazing. I was not expecting that. So let's add in the pathway. So the normal pavement pathways work fantastically with this high school because they blend right into the school itself. So we can kind of continue along the side of the asset, and it looks really nice. Let's get one connection right here. That was actually some pretty quick detailing on the high school here. I'm very pleased with that, actually. Those assets do such a wonder. Okay, so let's look at the city again. So we kind of have like a semi-arterial running through here. So I don't mind that being, or I guess the word would be a collector. I don't mind this one being, you know, residential, especially in this zone. But this is where the main connection is. So you drive right up to the high school and then have to split on 10th. But I'm assuming that any trucks would probably have to split on 12th Street here. But let's push the residential zoning a little bit because look at that. We have some demand again. Oh, wow. Big town. There we go. We got the big town marker. That's what we were going for this episode. So I guess we can end it now. That is fantastic. So what did we unlock? Why did we need to do that? Well, we unlocked a new tile. We have the 81 tiles mod, so we're good there. We got some more policies, taxation policies. That's fantastic. Metro. Hey, that's awesome. Intercity bus. That could be really fun to do. Residential wall to wall. Fantastic. And look at all these policies here. But this is the big one. We got high density residential, commercial, and offices. So offices will really help eat up some of our industry demand, our crazy industry demand. But we also got all of these, including the post sorting facility. I love the post sorting facility. And a high capacity medical helicopter depot. That's new as well. But yeah, look at this. My goodness. Tons of great assets with the big town. The next milestone is 10,000, I believe, smallest city. And yeah, we are going to definitely push for that. Probably the end of next week, if not into the future. But let's just finish up the zoning here. And then we will call it a day. So, fun fact for you. Today is Friday. I'm sure you knew that. But Sunday of this weekend is the finale for Skyline 6. So please attend it if you are free because it is going to be so much fun. It's going to be live with the members of the Skyline 6. Flyvox is going to be hosting it. And some of the guest builders are going to be in the chat as well. So if you have any questions about the series or you want to talk to us, it's a cool live stream. Who doesn't love a live stream? I love a live stream. But yeah, and then next week is my last week before my break. Just a 2-week break. I have some family in town, so I won't be able to record. But my goodness, folks, look at this expansion. We set ourselves up really nicely for future residential demand. This is going to look really nice. We kind of found the limit of the city as well, with a nice factory pocket over here, a cool park. I think this is a good size for it. I didn't want to push too far with the city close to the highway, because then we can get like a new town or something over here. Doesn't need to be entirely suburban sprawl, but this looks enough like suburban sprawl that it looks that that it works. We got a market in place here. We added to some industry. We cleaned up. We found a home for our power. So that is fantastic. Kind of industry area 2.0, but that is okay. But yeah, this market area looks fantastic. I'm really pleased with it. So let's end it here. Is that a good thumbnail? Yeah, I want the high school and the market in here. So have a wonderful day, folks. Talk to you soon on Sunday. Yeah, talk to you on Sunday. Peace out.